Grueling Truths AFC Championship Betting Guide show. And of course, as always, the Grueling Truth is powered by betting.net. Betting.net is your best bet for finding the online casino or sportsbook that's right for you. Make sure you go check out betting.net. All right, guys, we're not going to give a prediction on a winner today. What we're doing is the point spread. We're going to go to top prop bets after that. So let's go ahead and break down the Bengals Chiefs in what should be a high-scoring matchup. Now, everybody expected the Chiefs to be playing this weekend. Very few expected the Cincinnati Bengals to be here, and you can tell that in the odds for the game. The Chiefs this morning, when I checked it right before coming on air, it had moved to 7.5 from 6. It had started at 6.5. So it seems the wise guys and the public money all seem to be going on the Chiefs. Now, can the Bengals win this game? We saw the Bengals win this game less than a month ago, and that was behind the arm of Joe Burrow. And when you look at this on how the Bengals win the game, attacking the Chiefs' core defensive tendencies, I think, will be huge. Joe Burrow have all the answers for the Chiefs cover 2 and single high man coverages in these teams' first matchup. Now, these are Kansas City's best looks. This is their defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo, lives and dies with this defense. But I do think we could see a lot more cover 3 and maybe even some more quarter pressure or quarter coverage with pressure. And they cannot afford to let Jamar Chase catch 11 balls for 266 yards again. Now, we saw against Stefon Diggs last week, they took Stefon Diggs away. But when they took him away, Gabriel Davis ends up with 4 touchdowns and 200 yards receiving. The Bengals have Tee Higgins, Boyd, who could both do that also. Another key for the Bengals defensively is attacking Mahomes on third down. Now, the last time the Bengals played the Chiefs, what we did notice was the Chiefs ran the ball highly successfully in the second half. But what that led to was a holding penalty here or a lost yardage. And all of a sudden, instead of the 3rd and 2 and 3rd and 3 they got in the first half, which is almost an automatic first down in Kansas City, we were getting 3rd and 5, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 12. And when you get that, situationally, you have to go after Mahomes. Normally, not a good idea to blitz him. But I think on this, I think this is a time where the Bengals can really make hay. And, the Bengals blitz 37.5% of the time on third down passing attempts. Now, they blitzed almost 100% of the time on 3rd and more than 5. So 3rd and 5 and less, they didn't blitz so much. So I think that's something that will be huge for the Bengals is if you can make it 3rd and 5 and longer, you have the ability to bring a blitz, get up on those receivers, and get guys like Trey Hendrickson, DJ Reader, and Sam Hubbard to get to the quarterback. Now, how do the Chiefs win the game? It's pretty simple when you look at the first game. They've got to get Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill more involved. They totaled 65 yards between the two of them in the last game. And really, if they total 130 yards, it's probably not enough to win the game. So the Bengals have got to take away the vertical routes. So, I think you see with the Bengals predominantly this year from watching the film, you see mostly a mix of split safety zone and cover 3 from the Bengals defense. And the primary key to stopping the Chiefs is to take away the vertical plays, as I said. And when the ball is caught, you have to make the tackle and not allow the yards after the catch. Yak is something Kelce and Hill thrive on. It's what this Chiefs team thrives on. You didn't see a bunch of 50-yard passes down the field last week. This team is more, with Patrick Mahomes, more of a rhythm passing game where he gets the ball out quicker than he used to. He gets the ball in the hands of his playmakers and lets them make plays. The key to stopping that is to tackle him with the first guy that gets to him. If the Bengals miss tackles the way the Buffalo Bills did, this is going to be a long day for the Bengals. Now, players to watch. There's 3 guys here, 2 Bengals, 1 Chief. One of them, 2 Chiefs. Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill. As we said, these guys have got to combine for 150 yards at least for the Chiefs to be able to win this game. So that's a big thing. And stopping them defensively, Trey Flowers. And he is tasked with it. He did a great job against Kelce. And, the Chiefs have a big play tight end. Flowers is 6'2", 6'3". He's long. He's athletic. He did a great job against Kelce and Waller from the Raiders over the last month. And the Bengals haven't been able to cover a tight end since, I think, 1990 when David Fulcher left. But Trey Flowers has given them the ability to limit what tight ends can do to them. The other guy is Joe Mixon. And, it's really important in a running game, but maybe even more in the passing game, because Mixon can be especially dangerous catching the ball out of the backfield. And I think if the Chiefs are bringing pressure, which I think they will more than what they did last time, The Bengals could combat that by throwing to Mixon out of the backfield. Look for the Bengals to use a lot more two tight end sets. They made this adjustment in the second half of last week's win over the Titans, and the Chiefs have had major issues over the last 4 years against teams with two tight ends. The stat that I got about this that really stood out was the fact that Joe Mixon has averaged almost 5 yards per carry when the Bengals go to two tight ends. So I think that is huge there also. We got a comment from Joseph Michael. Burrow hitting Mixon on the check route all day. I agree. Another thing I would like to see the Bengals do is to put both running backs in the backfield, run them both out into the flat, throw the ball, get it out of Burrow's hands quickly. Because Steve Spagnuolo likes to blitz. He blitzed before, and in his personality, I think you're going to see him blitz. So when we look at the Bengals-Chiefs matchup, to me, 7.5 points is just too much, guys. This is a Bengals team that beat the Chiefs. They went to Tennessee. They beat the number 1 seed, the Tennessee Titans. They got a little bit of swagger to them. I'm not going to make the claim right here that they're going to win the game, but I think 7.5 points is way too much to give up in any championship game, probably, especially when you got Joe Burrow. The Bengals defense has played really well as of late. All right, let's look at some of the top prop bets to this game. And the number one that sticks out to me is Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And his over, I would take the over 36.5. I don't think the Chiefs are going to run the ball a whole lot. I think it actually takes them out of the rhythm. I think they'll use their passing game more as a running game with the quick screens, the quick passes into the slot. And that being said, if Helaire gets 5 or 6 touches, I think he could get 40 or 50 yards. I just think that Helaire is a very special running back. He's well rested because he's coming off an injury. He looked solid last week against the Bills. I think it's a safe bet to say he'll go over 36.5. Now the next one is Joe Burrow, over 8.5 yards rushing. Now this is a huge game. And I would also look at Patrick Mahomes, I think is 29.5. I would probably bet the over on both rushing yards for the quarterbacks in this game. I think that this game, when you look at these guys, they're going to look to extend plays. They're going to look to make plays. We saw Burrow gain, 10 yards on a first down run against the Titans. I think you'll get 2 or 3 runs from Burrow that'll put you well over the 8.5 yards. Next up, Tee Higgins, over 69.5 yards. We just talked about Stefon Diggs and the Buffalo Bills. Maybe the best receiver in the game. They took him away. But by taking him away, Gabriel Davis went off for 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. Tee Higgins really can expose the middle of the field. He can go up and get 50-50 balls. He can do a lot of things like that. And with Tee Higgins roaming the middle of the field, I think over 69.5 yards receiving will be taken care of easily. Of course, unless the Chiefs want to play defense like they did the last game and let Jamar Chase catch 266 yards and 11 passes. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to see a little bit more of it. And Kansas City is weak in the middle of the defense. And they're weak defending the pass. That's where Gabriel Davis did his work. So, yeah, we're basing this off what Gabriel Davis did. But I think Tee Higgins is a better receiver than Gabriel Davis. They both have elite quarterbacks. I think Higgins will make a lot of hay in this game and go for a lot of yardage. All right, guys. That is all we've got for the AFC Championship game preview. We'll have an NFC Championship game preview probably tomorrow between the 49ers and the Raiders. But right now, remember, take the Bengals into 7.5 points. Take Edwards-Helaire on a prop bet over 36.5 yards rushing. Burrow over 8.5 yards rushing. Higgins, 69.5 receiving yards. Take the over on that. But guys, we're going to go ahead. We're going to wrap it up now. Remember, you can follow me at Grueling Truth. And I wanted to bring the books up here. John Raspani, who writes for us, does podcasts for us, has had 2 excellent boxing books that have come out in the last couple of years. Intimate Warfare, which is the tale of Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward. And then A Few More Rounds, which is a book if you're into older boxing up to newer boxing. You know, stories about guys like Tony Zale, Joe Louis. It's all there. Jerry Fitz and John Raspani wrote that book. Make sure you check those books out on Amazon. But remember, follow me at Grueling Truth. Go follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter, YouTube, wherever you can find us, which is pretty much anywhere anymore. Over 300 different outlets we're on, including iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spotify, you name it, we're there. So remember to go check out betting.net because you need to find a place where you can legally bet in your own state. And betting.net does that. It does not help you place bets. It gives you ratings on the best places to bet in your state. And it's not just sports betting. Betting.net compares the best online casinos. So all you got to do is sit back, relax, play the top online slots, poker, and table games. Go bet the AFC and NFC Championship game this weekend. I will see you either later on today or tomorrow. But I've been Mike Goodpaster. Well, I'm still Mike Goodpaster. But this has been The Grueling Truth.